two fathers, two conquerors, two worlds built on blood. From the ruins of planet Vegeta rises Bardock, a Saiyan forged in war, driven by rage, destiny, and defiance. From the stars descends Omni-Man, a Viltrumite god of conquest, cold, calculated, unstoppable. This isn't hero versus villain, this is survival versus extinction. And tonight, it's our job to break down their weapons, power, speed, durability, and skill to find out who truly wins this cosmic battle.
Section 1. Omni-Man, the savior who came to conquer. His name is Nolan Grayson, but to the galaxy, he is known as Omni-Man, a name that echoes through solar systems with fear, awe, and blood. He comes from the planet Viltrum, a world that once claimed to pursue peace and enlightenment, but that was a lie dressed in honor. In truth, Viltrumite civilization was forged in a maelstrom of murder, an evolutionary trial by massacre. To ensure only the strongest survived, Viltrumite slaughtered half their own population with their bare hands. Think of it like natural selection with a kill count in the billions. What remained was a race of gods without mercy, conquerors who united under one mission: conquer the cosmos, crush any world that resists, and enslave or eliminate all who oppose the Viltrumite Empire. Omni-Man was sent to Earth, pretending to be a protector while secretly preparing it for conquest. In the comics, he worked alongside a group called the Guardians of the Globe, Earth's mightiest heroes. He saved lives, stopped disasters, even got married and had a son, Mark Grayson. But when Mark started developing his own powers, the mask came off. Omni-Man revealed the truth. Earth wasn't his home, it was his mission, and he was its executioner. That's when things got very un-Superman. Now let's talk power, because Nolan Grayson isn't just a strong guy. He's a walking cataclysm built from science fiction nightmare fuel. His strength, speed, and durability come from what's known as smart atoms. His DNA contains atomic structures that can be consciously manipulated to amplify strength, condense muscle density, and adapt in real time to stress. It sounds like comic book babble, because it is. But imagine your cells literally reorganizing to punch harder when you get mad. With these smart atoms, Nolan can fly at speeds that bend time, tank explosions that level cities, and punch holes through planets like he's punching through wet drywall. And it gets better. He can hold his breath in space for weeks by supercharging the oxygen in his blood, meaning he can chase you across the stars without stopping for air. Let's talk how far he can go. Once, when a portal opened and an alien race tried to invade Earth, Nolan didn't just close the door. He went through it, followed them to their home planet, and annihilated their civilization by using his own body as a missile. He flew so fast, he ripped apart their atmosphere, causing it to implode in a firestorm the size of a continent. Nolan turned himself into a warhead, and then, without resting, he flew back from a completely different galaxy in under a week. That's faster than light, bro. He doesn't travel, he dominates space. He has survived direct collisions with meteors the size of Texas, ripped through armies, and once punched an immortal being into vapor. He's not just strong, he's surgical in violence. If you try to flank him, you'll end up in two pieces orbiting his shoulders. And no, that's not a metaphor. He's taken hits that shattered mountains, got thrown through skyscrapers, and still kept fighting like a beast possessed. He even punched Mark, his own son, through 5 states in one battle. But he's not invincible. Viltrumites are vulnerable to intense sonic pressure, like ear-splitting frequencies that can shut down their equilibrium, grounding them like a busted jet. Echo Echo from Ben 10 would be their worst nightmare. And while Nolan can tank nuclear heat, something like prolonged exposure to stellar plasma, like bathing in the core of a sun, could kill him. But here's where the story hits hard. Because after all the pain, all the blood, all the rage, it wasn't a weapon or a hero that stopped Omni-Man. It was his son's heart. When Mark refused to give in, when he chose compassion over power, Nolan broke. Literally, he flew away from the fight, crying. The most feared being in the galaxy, undone by a boy who learned that love is stronger than legacy. Nolan had called his wife just a pet, but he learned what humanity really was, through the very people he was meant to destroy. And the best part? Nolan isn't done. He's not just a villain. He's a father, a traitor to his own kind, and possibly the galaxy's last hope to resist the empire he once served.
Section 2: Bardock. In the far reaches of the cosmos lay a world with a people born and raised to do just one thing: fight. The Saiyans, proud warriors from planet Vegeta, ruled by King Vegeta. You can see how that pride led them toward their impending doom, but perhaps one Saiyan represented the best of them even during their waning glory days. Bardock. He's cool, he's crude, he has a bad attitude, and if he goes mad, man, just leave the room. You're totally screwed. And guess what? He's the father of Goku. You probably didn't want to guess that. Bardock was a cold-blooded killer, ruthlessly conquering planets in service to the Saiyans' true overlord, Frieza. They didn't just conquer planets, they wiped out every living thing, leaving Frieza nothing but uninhabited rocks to sell away. But Bardock's story has evolved over the years, with multiple iterations to draw from, including one where he is even portrayed as a brilliant scientist. Bardock began to shift when he met and eventually married a fellow warrior, Gina, and had two sons, Raditz and Kakarot. I know what you're thinking, but no, he didn't go totally soft. He was still a ruthless warrior, and his iconic red headband was stained with the blood of his friends. Bardock can fly, move faster than light, and is naturally adapted to use his ki as an explosive weapon, shooting lasers from his hands. Bardock's moves are all about overwhelming power. His final spirit cannon is like a ki-powered bazooka. His rebellion hammer punch ignites enemies on contact, and his rebellion spear turns him into a supercharged battering ram. He will kill you and move on to the next one without breaking a sweat. Marriage didn't change that. While Bardock cared for Gina, being one of the few Saiyans of his time to have a romantic partner, he was still no family man. Like most Saiyans, his children were nothing more than future soldiers. Bardock was a low-class warrior, so it was unlikely his kids would grow into anything more than battlefield fodder, but they would still possess the Saiyan's true power, transformation. Under a full moon's light, a Saiyan with a tail manifests the Oozaru, this grade 8 form increasing Bardock's power tenfold, turning him into an unstoppable kaiju. While some Saiyans can maintain control over this berserker form, low-class warriors like Bardock don't receive that level of training. Higher burst Saiyans like Prince Vegeta have control so precise he can even speak while transformed, but Bardock cannot. It's not even possible that he remembers everything that happens when he goes full gorilla on the enemy. When he turns, he destroys, nothing else. In fact, being a low-class warrior, Bardock's power matched even King Vegeta, who could destroy multiple planets at once. Around this time, King Vegeta's power level was around 10,000, meaning he could reach the moon in a fraction of a second, all that power under his fingertips. Bardock assaulted planet Cereal, ravaged the planet, destroyed its people, and was surprised when he encountered a mother and her child, something that snapped him out of it, reminding him of his wife and recently born son. He chose to spare the two and even protected them from Frieza Force elites who revealed that Frieza had dire plans for the Saiyans' future. This moment changed Bardock, making him more appreciative of his family and more cautious of Frieza. When Frieza called all Saiyans back to planet Vegeta for a mysterious reason, Bardock had a hunch something wasn't right. Before his final stand, smashing through hundreds of soldiers before coming face to face with Frieza, he sent his youngest child away for protection, and then Bardock died, or so it seemed. When he was struck down, he was pulled away by two beings who misplaced him incorrectly through time, and when he discovered what happened, his rage ignited. He went Super Saiyan. I know what you're thinking, but Super Saiyan isn't achieved through training alone. It requires dedication, introspection, victory, loss, love, and failure. Frieza destroyed the Saiyans because he feared the possibility of a Super Saiyan, a warrior with power that could rival his own, and Bardock's transformation was more than a what-if scenario. If Frieza had hesitated even for a moment, his fear could have appeared before him right then and there. When Omni-Man and Bardock finally collide, the universe doesn't just shake, it fractures, because this is raw Saiyan savagery crashing into Viltrumite perfection. Bardock brings explosive power, relentless aggression, and transformations that multiply his strength into planet-breaking territory, fighting like a living supernova fueled by rage, instinct, and legacy. But Omni-Man is something far colder and far more terrifying, a conqueror bred for war, a being who has spent centuries wiping out civilizations, tearing planets apart with his bare hands, surviving in the vacuum of space, and overpowering entire species that relied on brute force alone. Omni-Man doesn't need transformations or rage boosts. His strength is constant, refined, and brutally efficient, paired with combat experience measured in centuries rather than years. Where Bardock overwhelms with power, Omni-Man dissects with precision, targeting weak points, crushing limbs, controlling momentum, and finishing fights with lethal finality. Even if Bardock pushes Omni-Man to his limits, unleashing everything the Saiyan race has to offer, Omni-Man's superior durability, sustained strength, and merciless combat IQ allow him to endure the storm and end the battle decisively. And to everyone watching, thank you for riding with us through this cosmic clash. Your support, your comments, your theories, and your passion are what keep these battles alive. So drop your thoughts below, let us know who you think should fight next, and welcome to the battlefield. You're always at home here.